Okay, this is my review of Finding Bigfoot. Tonight's Finding Bigfoot, I should say. I took copious notes, as I always tend to do. So, here we go. Location was North Carolina in the Uwharrie National Forest. According to a preview video, Moneymaker arrogantly confronts his field biologist Renee, who had confronted him about running after a bipedal heat signature, something Moneymaker would have flipped out at if Bobo had done it. Mike Green is featured, as is his thermal footage. Over 100 encounters in the state for the past 30 years in North Carolina. The footage from Mike Green shows something crawling up to a candy bar on a stump. Renee is skeptical of the footage and doubts it is a Sasquatch. The group goes to the actual site of the thermal image. Mike drove off and acted like he was leaving the campsite to see what he could attract. The image does not show cold spots like someone in a suit would. Matt says that the reason the Squatch went after the candy bar is because it loves peanut butter. No kidding, Matt. Most of us have known that a long time. A reconstruction is shot with Bobo as the model. Renee says there are similarities. The temperatures could factor into the reason for the similarities. However, the team splits again with Moneymaker and Cliff together and Bobo and Renee together. Bobo says he sees something on the hill, which leads to the argument seen in the preview video. They apparently saw something bipedal up on the top of the hill. Supposedly. I don't know if it was a Squatch or not, if it was a reenactment. Who knows with this show? The other three members of the team agree Matt blew it because Matt decided he was going to run at the thing and not stay calm and try and film it. The team heads next to Troy, North Carolina to interview witnesses who turn out by the hundreds. Several witnesses talk about their encounters with the cameras. Some muddy footprints on concrete are shown in the form of photographs. There was a story this week about that in the news. It's been on the internet news about these muddy footprints on concrete. 3 of the stories are mapped, and Bobo and Renee go into one of the areas to investigate. A lady named Amanda saw something while riding an ATV in the woods. She says it was on all fours and not on 2 legs, but it was not a bear. Her husband heard a growl which sounded unlike anything he'd ever heard. The recreation with Bobo and comparison shows a figure bigger than Bobo. Len, the man who found the muddy tracks, is profiled next. Power lines are close to his house, which prompts the discussion of squatches using power lines almost as a highway. Len and his wife also heard strange guttural growling. Matt says the tracks corroborate the sounds and vice versa. Cliff does a comparison which shows that the steps of the Sasquatch are about twice Cliff's stride. Tommy is the third witness, along with others who do night ops. Tommy had rocks thrown at he and his friends while camping. Cliff hears a strange sound while Tommy and his companions tell their story. Matt decides to sensibly split the group up and not go rushing into things. The team decides to do some calls, mainly howls. Matt and Cliff do some howls but don't get any replies so far. Bobo and Renee spot something on thermal. Something apparently zipped across the road. A rock, perhaps, seen on the thermal. Those night ops are uneventful. The group decides to get a large group of people together in the daytime to search for evidence, and they find, well, I won't give it away, but suffice it to say, still a pretty good episode. 6.5 out of 10 stars. Points off for Matt acting like an ass. Next Sunday they head to Oregon, 10 Eastern, 9 Central on Animal Planet. Check your local listings for time and channel.